Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce, and today we're going to take a look at the new to me Keltec P17 pistol. If I can get that in the light there. It holds 16 rounds in a magazine. Right there, a 16 round magazine, 22 long rifle pistol, holds 1 round in the chamber, making it a 17 round capacity pistol. It's also the cheapest semi-automatic pistol on the market today. That used to be the Phoenix Arms pistol, but right now, the Keltec P17 pistol is the cheapest 22 long rifle semi-automatic pistol available. Target set up about 10 yards away. Let's see how she shoots. This will be the first time I pull the trigger on this. All right. That's a nice trigger. It's plastic, but it's nice. Let's see how the sights are set up here. See if they're on target. It's all right. All right, that was a perfect run. The slide locks back just like a good pistol should. Huh, nice. Let me go ahead and throw it back to myself at the bunker and we can talk about the details, and then we'll come back here and continue shooting. As you can tell from the flannel I was wearing, that was several months ago, and I have shot the bejesus out of this thing since then, but those were the very first couple of magazines I put through this pistol. Of course, this is the blow molded case that the pistol comes in. You can see the Keltec design right there with the American flag, because it is made in the United States of America. You open this sucker up, and what you get, now I've got some extra stuff in here that does not come with it. What you get is the, of course, pistol itself. You get not 1, not 2, but 3 magazines, each holding 16 rounds. Of course, you got 1 in the chamber, making a 17 rounder, thus the name P17. You also get a little baggie of tools there that comes with a little wrench, a Allen key, and the threaded barrel adapter, because this is a threaded barrel. Now, initially, it will have a basically threaded protector that you screw off and put on the adapter that makes it a 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel, which means that it can take any kind of normal 22 threaded suppressor or a muzzle brake if you wanted to put a muzzle brake on here, which, why would you want to do that? It's a 22 pistol. The Keltec P17 has a fiber optic front sight and a glare reducing rear sight, which works very, very well. At first glance, you might see those 2 screws at the very top of that slide and think, wow, that's also set up for an RMR. No, it is not. You cannot take that off and put on an RMR sight or any kind of holographic sight. That's not what that is there for. Those 2 screws hold down the rear serration part, which also holds down the rear sight assembly. Total weight with an empty magazine, 12.9 ounces. Trigger weight test here, using my Lyman trigger scale. £2 pounds, 12 ounces. Pretty dang good. Also, just so you know, I did not dry fire this without a extra case in here. You can see in the back right there, if you can get that in the light. All right, you should be able to see some of that, hopefully. Safety off. All right, plate rack. There we go. Oh, that should have gone down. That plate won't go down. That one did. All right. Well, that middle plate there, just that's just destined to stay put. But man, this little Keltec runs like a champ. Here's the barrel, and there is the thread protector. You take off that thread protector and you can put on the threaded muzzle adapter that looks like this. And to the best of my knowledge, that is available with every pistol. And with this threaded muzzle, you can add things like a very cool suppressor. And this is a very quiet pistol to shoot suppress. It does very, very well. And if you use a properly sized 22 suppressor, the stock sights have no problem looking over that suppressor. And from this view, you can see that there is a cocked indicator there. So when I pull the trigger, the cock indicator goes blank. Throw your 22 can on there. I've got some Winchester white box, 36 grain, 1280 feet per second right there. What I shot earlier in the video was this Aguila ammo there. It's supposed to be, what is this? 40 grain. And I can't remember what the speed is there, but it's not super fast, but this is. So we'll see how it goes. Got my eyes on, ears are on the pistol. Of course, the sound of the bullet hitting steel is the loudest part of this, which is what's great about suppressed firearms. Get some cans. Got to get the cans. Got to get the plinking done. There we go. Oh. Looks like that is a dud Winchester round, which Winchester white box, that's not unheard of. That's actually fairly common, unfortunately. We're going to hit that primer a second time to see if we can get it to light. Nope. All right. At least it ejected that time. There we go. And now we're swapping over to Arms Corps ammo right there. It's very fitting to use the cheapest 22 available in the cheapest 22 pistol available. Seems very accurate. All right. I'm impressed. Keltec, for once in your entire business history, you've made something that actually works straight out of the box. Normally Keltec has a tendency to put something out in the public before it's quite ready. This seems to be running like a top though. Nice going, Keltec. Nice going. I made this holster for the P17 pistol, but I've got to carry it cross draw when I've got my suppressor in there because it takes a lot of room for that suppressor to clear the holster. I tried mounting over here, but I was having to really reach up to get the suppressor out of the holster, and I just don't have the range of motion in my shoulder that I used to due to a old injury in my youth and heyday. So the trigger is good. The sights are good. The accuracy is good. It's threaded from the factory. Well, it has a threaded adapter from the factory. It shoots suppressed good. It is nice and quiet when it's suppressed. It feels decent in the hand. It has a nice grip to it. It's ambidextrous. And it is inexpensive. What's the downside? Well, there's a few of them. Number one, it is engineered very cheaply, which basically means this is a typical Keltec product in the fact that it looks and feels much cheaper than its actual functionality. It will probably function much longer than it looks like it should, but it won't last forever. This is not something you're going to hand down to your grandkids later on in life, unless you already got one foot in the grave. This will not last hundreds of thousands of rounds like, I don't know, like a Ruger Mark III series pistol. This is not something like that. This is built on a budget to have fun with. It can accept a certain amount of abuse, but not too much because the thing is plastic, and the plastic is not a high quality grade of plastic. I don't know what kind it is, but it definitely feels more like a Coke bottle than it does a Glock. I'm sure there is some glass fiber reinforcing in this plastic. I mean, how could there not be? But it definitely doesn't feel nearly as sturdy as a Glock frame does. Along with the general feel of the plastic, the only other complaint I have about the P17 pistol is in the magazines. Now, they all function flawlessly. All three of them functioned perfectly well with this pistol. No problems whatsoever. No nose dives, no fail to feeds, anything of that nature. But other than just feeling cheap, just like the frame is, because it's the same type of plastic, it is very hard to load those last 5 or 6 rounds into the magazine. Usually there's a notch in the 22 magazines to hold down that follower. This does not have that. You just got to cram those rounds in there. So I ended up printing off a magazine loading tool. This is available on the normal internet. Just Google away if you have a 3D printer. But you can also buy these very, very cheaply as well. Comparing the P17 pistol to my other 22 pistols, is it as good as the Taurus TX22 pistol? Which I love this pistol. And the answer is kind of, but no. In my hands, the Keltec pistol is more accurate than the Taurus pistol after I've shot it quite a bit. But the Taurus pistol feels better. It feels like it's a higher quality frame, and it is much more ergonomic in my hand. Over the last few months of shooting, I have been able to shoot the Keltec very accurately. It is still nowhere near as accurate in my hands as the Browning Buckmark. But of course, that comes with a much, much higher price tag. In conclusion, when you factor in price, the P17 pistol from Keltec is a very hard bargain not to recommend. It's a fantastic pistol for the money. If you're not really serious about 22 pistols and you just want something to have in your range bag for a rainy day, if you run by the range and nothing else works out, but you got your 22 pistol to plink a little bit with, that would be a great thing to throw in your range bag for an off day at the range. Well, guys, that's for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and go subscribe. A lot more is on the way. If you have any comments, questions, or show ideas, leave that in the comment box of the video. I'll try to get them as possible. And as always, you guys have a great day. See ya.